And then I heard you tell Kevin Durant he can have whatever contract he wants next year.
Yeah, that was just for the media. He can't have anything like that at all.
Mid-level.
Yeah, mid-level, behind closed doors.
Because I think last year he told Steph he could have any contract he wants too.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, that was different. He's been here from the run, you know, the way before days. He's earned it.
and there ended the Warriors' cohesion right there.
So much. Kevin had it's an Achilles injury. I don't know
put him out.
the extent of it. He'll have an MRI tomorrow. Prior to coming back, he went through 4 weeks with our medical team, and he was cleared to play tonight. That was a collaborative decision. I don't believe there's anybody to blame. If you have to, you can blame me.
And can somebody give Bob some credit? They want to talk about super teams this, super team that. I never played on the super team. You started the super team, bro. Let's see, Slim was the second pick in the draft. Steph was 7, Clay was 11. I was like 47. Wasn't no number 1, number 4, number 5. We just do it better. Give credit where credit due. We ain't had no number 1 picks to build this thing. We just put it together. So like I said, shout out to Bob. You know, Bob is definitely the best GM in the league. And he just sit back. Don't want no credit. I'm giving you credit. Way to get it done, bro. My God.
I've appeared on this channel multiple times and said that the Golden State Warriors dynasty is in tremendous jeopardy. And today just further affirmed that belief. I mean, on top of everything we said in our previous videos, there's a brand new dimension that we haven't talked about yet, which includes the departure of a pivotal figure in the Golden State Warriors dynasty, the potential departure of more players in the dynasty, the fact that the collective bargaining agreement is probably going to screw them over considerably, and the fact that their stars are aging. So we have a lot to talk about in this video. Before we get to the content, we are hundreds of subscribers that have my notifications on, away from hitting 100K subs that turned on my notifications. When we get there, we're going to be giving away $1,000 to 5 subscribers that turned on my notifications. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. So we have a $1,000 giveaway from Prize Picks. They're giving 5 of us a chance to win $1,000. All you have to do is click the link in the description down below to sign up for a chance to be selected to make a 5-pick flex to win $1,000. They're also giving us a free square. Nikola Jokic just needs 1 point in order for his square to hit, which means we only need 1 more pick in order to make money here. I'm just going to play it safe, man. We're going to do Caleb Martin, 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists in the first half. And if he hits that, we make $75. Use my promo code microphone to get up to a $100 deposit match on Prize Picks. Now let's get to the video. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I wanted to apologize to you guys for last night. The Boston Celtics recap documentary that we worked our asses off on ended up getting really botched. I mean, originally we uploaded a video that had my intro posted twice. That was my own error. When I tried to fix that in the YouTube editor, it for some reason desynced all the audio, so I had to re-upload the video. It's fully fixed, but unfortunately, when some people saw the video and some people didn't see the video, YouTube's gonna destroy it in the algorithm. So if you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link to it in the end screen. It's like 27.5 minutes long. We worked our asses off on it, so Make sure you enjoy it after this video. The Golden State Warriors dynasty has been in jeopardy ever since they won the NBA Finals last year. What seemed to be a second run in the Warriors dynasty that some people were comparing to Michael Jordan's final 3 championships with the Chicago Bulls ended up being a little bit more tumultuous, and I don't even think it's fair to make such a comparison. The Warriors did a remarkable job to get here. I mean, starting from Kevin Durant tearing his Achilles in the 2019 NBA Finals, conducting a sign and trade with the Brooklyn Nets and bringing in D'Angelo Russell for about 30 plus games, trading D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins, whose value was at an all-time low, and then Andrew Wiggins fulfilling his potential as a two-way star in the NBA, and with contributions from role players like Draymond-Poole, the Warriors seem to have had a good group of young guys that they can move forward with. Draymond-Poole and Andrew Wiggins particularly celebrated their triumph in the NBA Finals with this famous video.
You about to get a bag. You about to get a bag. No. You about to get a bag. We about to get a bag. We about to get a bag. We all want to get a bag.
And what the Golden State Warriors were able to achieve with both Andrew Wiggins and Draymond-Poole was nothing short of incredible. Draymond-Poole was originally selected with the 28th overall pick in the NBA draft and improved to the point where he was able to average 18.5 points per game in the 2021 to 2022 season. Combine that with the fact that they won a championship and the fact that Andrew Wiggins was willing to take a pay cut to keep this nucleus together, and that resulted in Draymond-Poole getting a 4-year, $123 million contract extension. Things were going great for the Golden State Warriors until the famous incident between Draymond Green and Draymond-Poole, where Draymond Green punched the living crap out of Draymond-Poole.
When you look back, how much do you feel like maybe the events in the preseason impacted the whole season? Did it feel like it lingered to you, and what was the impact that it had on this year?
I mean, we made it to the second round of the playoffs. You know, we had a good season, and guys stepped up. We had a lot of exciting moments. So I mean, I don't think there's anything that was, changing any of that.
And while I do applaud Draymond-Poole for being professional, I have to admit Draymond Green is definitely taking a different approach. I mean, maybe this is an accident, but when you're listing each and every player on your team that you're expecting to be there for the foreseeable future, except the man that you punched the living shit out of, well, it's definitely going to cause people to start speculating, and that's what Draymond Green did.
So that's our goal. Clay will play better. I have no doubt in my mind I'll play better. Steph had an incredible game. Expect more of the same or even more from him. And everybody else will play great. Moses Moody's been giving us great minutes. Dante gave us some good minutes last night. GP gave great minutes. Loon, when Loon's in there, he's giving great minutes. Wiggs was aggressive. Like, listen, I'm living with it. And we just didn't make the plays we needed to make down the stretch to win the game. We'll make those plays. I have no doubt in my mind. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Given the clips that we were seeing during the playoffs and how horrible Draymond-Poole was actually performing, I can understand why some people would think that he is about to get traded. I mean, just to refresh your memory, this was an incident that occurred during the Golden State Warriors series in the playoffs this year. And then you had Draymond-Poole just making really horrible mistakes like this.
It's been that kind of game for Draymond-Poole. Just 2 of 10 from the field.
Now, that isn't the only issue that the Golden State Warriors have. Probably the biggest issue that the Warriors are facing is the fact that the brand new collective bargaining agreement that was just renegotiated quite literally targets this team. I mean, it seems like they're doing everything they possibly can to ensure that a new version of the Golden State Warriors never gets created, which to me personally, I think is a little silly, mainly because I think the way the Warriors were built was actually beautiful. I mean, they came into the NBA during a time where the super team trend was starting to get going. You had the Boston Celtics Big Three get formed during the 2007 to 2008 season. Then you had the Miami Heat Big Three between LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, which the previous CBA was trying to avoid happening again, which is a huge reason why the NBA vetoed the Chris Paul trade, by the way. They didn't want more super teams forming. And then out of nowhere, Here comes a team that develops their own talent and puts them in a situation where they can play to the best of their abilities that quite literally revolutionized the game of basketball. The thing that kind of ruined the whole homegrown talent aspect of it was when Kevin Durant joined the team. But for the most part, the core of the Golden State Warriors was drafted by the Golden State Warriors, developed by the Golden State Warriors, and they would add players throughout free agency. But aside from that, during the super team era, I have to admit, the Warriors were a huge breath of fresh air. Yes, once a team becomes that dominant, you start rooting against them. But I don't necessarily think it was necessary for the new CBA to target them. And the team that is probably going to be the most affected by the new CBA is without a doubt going to be the Boston Celtics. And we cover this extensively in our documentary video once they lost Game 7, which I highly recommend you guys check out. To give you an idea, the Celtics have 2 players that are eligible for Supermax contract extensions. The first one being Jaylen Brown, who could get paid $295 million over 5 years, which would make him the highest paid player in the NBA right now and in NBA history, even higher than Nikola Jokic, who signed a 5-year, $270 million Supermax contract. And then the year after, Jason Tatum can agree to a 5-year contract for about $318 million. Now, in the past, there would be no doubt in any team's mind that they should pay their stars that they develop themselves, especially if they're both eligible for Supermax contract extensions. But as a result of the new CBA, a team that does this can be significantly handicapped. Now, before we only had a single apron, which was about $6 million above the luxury tax, which increases along with the salary cap around 10% annually, which becomes a hard cap in the event that you decide to make a sign and trade or use a biannual exception. But now there's an additional apron, one at $6 million, which we had before, and one at about $17.5 million above the luxury tax line, which creates even more restrictions. This clearly was targeting the Golden State Warriors because the Warriors exceeded the apron like crazy to sign as many of their homegrown talent as they possibly could. So in this event, when you exceed $17.5 million, the taxpayer mid-level exception disappears, which means you can't sign a player like Dante DiVincenzo. You can't send out cash in trades to buy second-round picks or deep bench players, and you can't trade first-rounders 7 years out. And the Celtics actually did this to acquire Derek White. So if a team like the Celtics were to do this, then they would not be able to pursue any good role players as well. So why am I bringing all this up to you? Well, we got breaking news today that we were anticipating for quite some time. There were rumors suggesting that Bob Myers may potentially leave the Golden State Warriors. And today, it seems like those rumors were officially confirmed. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, Golden State's Bob Myers, a 2-time Executive of the Year, and an architect of 4 NBA championships, is stepping down as the franchise's president and general manager. He told ESPN on Tuesday, "It's just time." Now, of course, Laker fans are running away with this, saying, oh, we ended the dynasty, but the fact of the matter is that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. There's a reason why Bob Myers is stepping down. And a part of it is what I told you leading up to this part of the video. But when you put everything in a nutshell, you can understand why Bob Myers used the words that he did. It is just time, if you think about it. Think of it this way. Steph Curry is currently 35 years old. He's going to turn 36 years old in March. Draymond Green is 33 years old. He's going to be 34 years old in March. And even he is not guaranteed to come back. Klay Thompson is not even close to the player that he was in his prime. Jordan-Poole is overpaid and his value is diminishing. Andrew Wiggins is probably the most solid young piece that the Warriors currently have that is supposed to be in his prime, I suppose. Don't get me wrong. Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga are really promising players. If you're Bob Myers, considering the fact that all of your core, that the entire core of the Golden State Warriors is aging, combined with the fact that there's a CBA that is quite literally targeting teams that are built in the way that you are, when you are absolutely capped out to the max and you weren't even close to making it to the NBA Finals after winning the NBA Finals, what is the upside in staying with the Golden State Warriors at this point? You're 42 years old and you could step back and literally watch the house crumble without being there. If you're the general manager while the Golden State Warriors go up in flames, then you're going to be in some trouble. It's going to be a stain on your practically flawless resume as the general manager and the president of basketball operations for the Golden State Warriors. But in this case, Bob Myers has the ability to wash his hands of the situation, which, by the way, bear in mind, the Warriors offered Bob Myers a huge contract extension. I don't think money had anything to do with it. It's the fact that Bob Myers realized that, hey, my life is going to be very, very difficult over the next couple of years. This new CBA is going to completely cripple my ability to continue to build around this core, and I don't want to do it anymore. He's 41 or 42 years old, so I do think he will make it back to the NBA, but the situation has to make sense for him, and he has the opportunity to leave this situation and be one of the most sought-after general managers or executives in the entire NBA and relax and wait until the proper opportunity comes up for him. Another reason why Bob Myers is leaving the Golden State Warriors is probably very similar to the reason why Phil Jackson left as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers following their 2003 to 2004 season where they lost to the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals. You see, if you do leave the Golden State Warriors now, if the Golden State Warriors start falling apart, which it seems very likely that they are about to start falling apart, by the way, given everything I told you, then a lot of analysts, fans, and maybe even other executives will create a narrative suggesting that the reason why the Warriors crumbled was because Bob Myers isn't there anymore to save them. But the reality of the situation is that no matter who has this job currently, isn't some big trouble. I mean, the Golden State Warriors could look significantly different for the 2023 to 2024 season, and to be honest, their contingency plan for Bob Myers and their succession plan for Bob Myers doesn't necessarily give me a lot of hope for their future. And it kind of reminds me of the Atlanta Hawks situation. If you remember, the Atlanta Hawks had an armchair general manager who was the son of the owner, who was trying to micromanage the team. He was the main reason why they made that huge trade for DeJounte Murray, even though Travis Schlenk, the existing general manager, thought that the DeJounte Murray trade was a huge overpay. Now it seems like Golden State Warriors Joe Lacob wants to elevate the role of his son Kirk Lacob, and he wants to elevate the role of the vice president of basketball operations Mike Dunleavy Jr. So I think Mike Dunleavy Jr. might have potential. I mean, I can't believe I'm getting this old to the point where I watched Mike Dunleavy coach and Mike Dunleavy Jr. play, and now Mike Dunleavy Jr. is an executive, so that's kind of like whoa for me. But that aside, I think whoever is taking this job is going to be in a very difficult position, and I feel like some young blood could potentially work in this scenario, but no matter who succeeds Bob Myers, they, one, have huge shoes to fill, and two, are going to have to undertake a task that not even Bob Myers felt confident in himself being able to resolve. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Do you think this is the true reason why Bob Myers is stepping down? Do you like the Golden State Warriors contingency plan? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.